ready? What have we talked about in this last few weeks? Minerals, rocks. Okay, so what we've been doing is Unit 3, right? We covered 3 lessons in Unit 3. Unit 3's main learning goal was this. Minerals and rocks are basic building blocks of Earth and can change over time from one type of mineral or rock to another. We know this, right?
Yeah.
We've learned all about it. So we're going to put all of our knowledge into one big project. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's called a summative project. What does sum mean in math? Adding. An answer to an addition problem. So we're going to add up everything we know from each lesson and we're going to make one big project, right? So minerals, rock cycle, 3 types of rocks. And we're going to put it all together, right? Make sense?
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about this project that we're going to do. So I have the rubric, right?
Yeah.
What's a rubric?
It's like
Rubric is
How you're going to be scored, what your expectations are, right? What you should do to meet the highest standard. So this is going to be a group project. You're going to work with your table groups. Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. So on your board, here's an example. Ready? This is not the rock cycle because I did not want you all to be little copiers and take my work. So I did the solar system, right? Ooh, sadly, yes, I drew them. Okay, so this is an example, right? I'll refer to this as we talk about the rubric, but we're not here, right? We're here, okay? Right around them. Here, not here. Okay? Okay, let's talk about the first one. So, our first thing you need to hit is content from lesson 1 from unit 3. Do you remember what that was? The first week, it's when we did the graphic organizer? Minerals, right? Okay, so the biggest thing is you're going to clearly and accurately define minerals and rocks. Simple, right?
Yeah.
What's a mineral?
Solid.
Solid.
Oh, naturally occurring. Inorganic.
Inorganic, naturally occurring.
Crystalline.
Crystalline structure, good, okay. Content from lesson 2 from unit 3. So, let's talk about this real quick. You have 3 areas you can hit. You can hit developing, proficient, and mastery. Developing means you need work, right? You don't quite understand it yet. Proficient means you understand it, but you could do a little bit more, or you can understand it even more. Mastery means what? You're a master, right? Like just like the IXL, a math master. You know everything, right? Okay. So we're only going to talk about the mastery because that's what everybody should be aiming for, right? What's up, Evan?
How will you know that we're doing on the top one? How will you know that we're doing the mastery? Because the proficient and mastery on the first one are the same.
Ooh, they are. You caught my mistake. So I'll go back in and change that. So what this is proficient should only be defined one or the other. Does that make sense? So if you only define minerals and you don't define rocks, you'll be proficient. Sound good?
Yeah.
Thank you for catching my mistake. Okay. So lesson 2, what did we talk about? Miss Radford did this one. Do you remember with the ball and the earth?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The rock cycle.
Yeah.
Okay. So we also talked about I taught this a little bit too. Miss Radford taught more of the tectonic plates. But we talked about the 3 different types of rocks: sedimentary, metamorphic, and igneous, as well as how they are formed within the rock cycle. Okay? So the difference between these 2 will be that you still identify 3 types, but there could be more detail, right?
Yeah.
So on my thing, I have this one with 4 dots. Can everybody see? Let's hold it up. So this one has 4, a lot of detail, right? I could show that I know my meaning. Down here, this planet only has 3. So there's a difference, right? So if maybe I could have shown more detail, or if I know you know more about it, I'll be like, hey, you could have used more detail. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go on to lesson 3. We did this last week, right? What is this? What did we do last week? The specific types of rocks.
Yes, we did sedimentary, igneous, and metamorphic.
Yep, love it. Okay, so this is the goal: to identify the specific types of the 3 forms of rock. clastic, organic, and chemical, intrusive and extrusive igneous, foliate, non-foliate metamorphic with details that demonstrate understanding. So, what do we know about classic?
Very.
Classic.
Very.
Good. Chemical.
Solutions evaporate.
Chemical.
Solutions evaporate.
Organic.
Once living but now buried.
Organic.
Once living but now buried.
Good. Okay. Igneous. If I bust where I'm not supposed to be inside the earth.
Intrusive.
Good. If I explode through the volcano and come down.
Extrusive.
Good. Okay. What about if I have one rock, heat and pressure, new rock with bands?
Foliated.
Good. One rock, heat and pressure, no bands.
Non-foliated.
Y'all are so smart. Oh my gosh. Okay. The difference between proficient and mastery pictures are to how big our board is, right? Okay. So we've done our outline. You guys did this. Done the checklist. You're about to do the board, right? So let's think about this. Question for you. Ready? With Earth Day is coming up in a little over a month, right? April 22nd. Why is it important that we know about these rocks and minerals before Earth Day so we can be as knowledgeable as possible come Earth Day? What do y'all think? It's a toughie. It's a tough question.
It is. Well, I mean, it's good to know about them, to know, like, I think the cool things that we need, like to celebrate about what's inside of the earth.
Yeah.
All, like, the cool rocks and minerals, and, like, it's good to know, like, how it all happens.
Yeah, I love that. So, branching off of that, let's think about this. How much of the stuff we use every day comes from minerals?
A bunch of it.
Yeah? Think about our pens, our pencils. What's in there?
The lead.
Lead, graphite, different minerals, right? Let's think about deodorant. It has aluminum in it. Your toothpaste has titanium in it, right? These are all minerals. These are elements. So being aware of this stuff in our daily life is only going to make us more aware when it comes to Earth Day, right? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so you guys have 3 types of rocks, rock cycle, minerals. What's a way that we can make this more smooth for our audience, right? Think, what's one way we can make it better?
Switch these two.
Good. Explain to me why.
Yeah, we could switch.
Minerals come before rocks because this shows how the rocks are formed.
Good. Yep.
People usually read from left to right.
Good. People read left to right, and minerals do come before rocks. I love that. Y'all are on a great track. Okay? Feel free to start on your board. But we have, I think, 3 groups now are ready for their board. So let's talk about our boards before we do anything, okay? So table group 2, pause. So everybody's going to get their boards here soon, right? We're all working towards it. We've done our outline. We've brainstormed. Now it's time to put all of that outline into our board. But remember, we only get one board, correct? So with our board, we need to be as organized as possible. Should we probably go for it in Sharpie first?
No.
No. Yeah, we should do pencil first, right? Pencil's erasable. Everybody makes mistakes, correct? Okay, so let's be smart about how we organize our board and how we go about it. Everybody's board is the same size. So be thinking about the size of your pictures. Everybody gets 5 printed pictures, correct? You have to approve of those, but that's like the second to last step, correct? Okay, so think about your board. Think about how big those pictures need to be and how big your information is. So as you're writing down in pencil and marker, make room for those pictures and then print them out, correct? Does this make sense?
Yes.
Okay, should we be neat and organized with it?
Yes.
These are our final presentations, right? These are your work. We want it to accurately represent your knowledge and your effort. So if it's poor effort, that represents you poorly, right? You can know all the knowledge in the world, but if you don't accurately show it, you're only hurting yourself and your group members. Okay? Sound good?
Yes.
Fluorite you can scratch with a file, and diamond can only be scratched by another diamond. And that's it.
Good job. Good job. Okay. I'll take your photo. You guys have your outline
Yes.
and your checklist? Evan, will you come put it in your board?
Yeah.
Like, fold it inside like how we've been saving our things? Are those all your extra papers too?
Yeah.
Go ahead and put all of it in there. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
I've never used the microphone before. Okay. When Evan gets those papers there, you're gonna take your time. And we'll leave. So it's right here on the floor by my where I was sitting. Okay. So we all wrote down in our peer reflection sheet that I gave out right before we started presentation. Constructive criticism, positive compliments, correct? Okay. So, first off, you guys did super good. I love all of the boards. You guys really reflected what you knew. You guys put so much work and effort into it, and I just really loved every single one of your boards. And I want to ask now, since we just talked about all of that information, how are we going to take it and apply it further? Like, once this lesson ends, are we just going to be like, oh, poof, gone? No, right? We want to keep it. So how can we apply this into future learning? Enrique.
Maybe combine it together.
Say a little louder.
Maybe combine it together.
Yeah, good. Maybe combine it all together. Kind of like what we just did, right? We combined all the minerals and all the types of rocks, and we combined it all together to show our knowledge. That's really good. Anybody else? How can we apply this? I know table group 2, we talked about it a little bit. Earth Day's coming up. How can we apply this knowledge that we've just gained and apply it? Ryder.
We can acknowledge and notice that how often we use them in our everyday lives.
Yes. So good. Yeah, that's really good. Do you remember where we use them in our everyday lives?
There's minerals in our toothpaste.
Mm-hmm. In our water. Good.
What else?
Minerals are everywhere, right? So if you guys didn't hear Ryder, he said that minerals are everywhere in our daily lives. So if we can take this knowledge and know that minerals are everywhere in our daily lives, and so are rocks, right? Rocks and minerals make up everything, right? So we can now go looking for them and identifying them in our lives. Brian said water. Ryder said toothpaste, right? So with Earth Day coming up, let's really be thinking about all of this stuff we learn and how we can apply it to be mindful of it when it comes. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Okay, the last thing we're going to do is we're going to set up our boards all around the room on our table groups. We're going to do a gallery walk. So I'm going to give everybody a sticky note. Well, actually, I'm going to give everybody several sticky notes. And you're going to take one compliment or constructive criticism from your paper. You're going to write it on the sticky note, and you're going to go look at the boards. Because we were kind of up here, we couldn't really see very well. So we get to do a gallery walk and look at it a little closer. And you're going to write down your one compliment and your one critique for each group. Does this make sense?